Welcome and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch, your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips and strategies and techniques to master your sales conversation. Today, I'm super excited. It is a sales success story with one of my brilliant, amazing, absolutely fantastic clients, Shana Cooper. She's here. Welcome, friend.
Thank you so much for having me, Nikki.
I'm so excited for you to share about yourself, your business, and then, of course, the things that you've been implementing and the results that you're getting with this idea of hopefully inspiring others to take action. You are such a prime example of an implementer. And I am so delighted every time your name pops up on Voxer. Every time I get to work with you, you're just such a delight. But before we go into all the things that make you just like the ideal client for me, because I love you so much, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure. Thank you so much. I feel the same way. So I am a CPA, been doing accounting for 30 years, and I'm also a mom of five. Just have a couple kids left at home at this point, and my husband and I will have been married this weekend for like 30 years. So it's very exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So accounting and wife for 30 years, it's just kind of an interesting combination there.
Yeah.
So it really ties into my business because my business is focused on finances and helping other women, kind of showing them how to blend finances, family, home, business, right, all together and really understand and have more financial confidence. And I do all of that through the lens of biblical principles, as well as just that wisdom that, I've gained really over the last 30 years being an accountant, a mom, and a wife.
And not just a mom, like all the things you are, but a mom who homeschooled as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You're still homeschooling?
We we just homeschooled our younger two. The older three did other types, like I feel like I'm always kind of pushing the envelope with a lot of things in life. I do things a little bit differently, but they went to charter school. The older three, actually, all of them did for a long time. We moved multiple times over, the last 30 plus years or so, multiple times across the country. And so we just tried different things and tried to really figure out what works best for each child too. And really, with our last move, last two moves, it was obvious that it made sense to start homeschooling. And that's been a journey as well. And one that I've been really proud. My youngest daughter actually she's trying to start her own business. She's 16. So I think, yeah, just that entrepreneurial spirit of them seeing me working from home. I've been working from home since 2006. I haven't had a business that whole time. I've, been an employee, actually much of that time,
Mhm.
but they've seen me kind of just make things work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I know that because I have some insight into your business, obviously, but one of the things that comes up often with the women that are working with you and hiring you, or even just having that initial call with you, is some of the challenges that finance brings into their marriage and into their family. Not just the entrepreneurial woman who is building her own business that already has some financial like needs, right? And to understand the finances, but this idea of like how to have these, which can be sometimes uncomfortable conversations, or how to have you and your spouse be on the same page so that you're moving towards kind of a common goal when it comes to the financial piece, because that does really impact the the whole part of your life, right? Like your family life, everything. So will you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Yes. I mean, I found that, for my husband and me, and that's why, again, it's so important. And I'm very passionate about this is finances do, like you said, they impact every piece of your life, really. The things that, even just wanting to be generous, what do you want for your family? What legacy do you want to leave? And I'm not talking just even a truly financial legacy, but just how do you want to live your life? And what does that mean to you? Like, how do you want to be present for your family, whether that's your own children, whether that's your extended family. Extended family is extremely important to us. And we've really, us maybe going on big trips as a family or even as a couple for us has not been as important as spending time with our extended family because we were across the country. So usually, that meant one or two trips, them also coming out to see us, kind of spending time with the kids. So yeah, every family's different, right? Every individual is different as far as what is important to them. But finances always plays into that. So what I do is I work with, again, either, if it's a couple situation and they've got a family, or again, maybe I do have, of course, single women, really anybody who is looking to do something different with their life in some capacity, whether that's gaining financial confidence, maybe a widow who never really touched the finances before, and they're really trying to understand and not, I guess, kind of blow through the money that they have and
Right.
not be able to take care of themselves in the future, right? To, like you said, like women who, I'm thinking of one example where they'll be planning a family soon, and her job right now is such that she's working 60 hours and she knows she has the skill set to be able to work maybe either a different job or eventually have her own business, but something that allows her that flexibility. But she's thinking about that now, right? Like thinking about what does she need to change? And kind of we're working through that. What action steps does she need to take? And then she goes and takes those. So we meet again. It's like, okay, what's the next thing? But again, all of it is, stems at the end of the day from finances.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have kind of your own framework or signature approach to this. I know you mentioned that it really is centered around biblical principles, but you also have, I think, is such a fantastic kind of tagline about what you really, the role that you play in your client's life. So will you speak to that as well?
Sure. So it's called the Life CFO, and it really drives unity and alignment first, then the clarity and organization. So understanding, so not just knowing your numbers, but actually understanding all the numbers.
Hmm.
And then consistency. So improving your habits and rhythms and just, changing out. I give my clients different new habits to consider. One example is just starting to write down their wins. And I was actually on a call yesterday, and they mentioned the first thing that the couple mentioned was that they started, like, she's in charge of writing down their wins. Like that's kind of her job now. And she said they've been diligently doing that. And something happened on the call, and he's like, "That's a win too. You need to write that down." And it was just so, like, I just love seeing the two of them just have this moment of, it's like I wasn't even there, in a way. And they're just like this new habit that they're doing. And then the last thing is really around that confidence and around the legacy that they're going to leave. And that's again based on exactly what that specific couple, that specific woman wants for their life. So Life CFO, and the name of my business, I never even really said this at the beginning, is Happy Homes and Families.
Yeah.
So that really just lends to exactly what I want for each woman, each couple that I work with is, again, a happy home, a strong marriage, and a connected family.
Which is so important. And to pretend that finances doesn't play a part in that, I think is really unrealistic because, when there's struggles around money or when there's confusion around it or when there's disagreement around it, like how can you have a strong, happy marriage? It really kind of starts to chip away from the things that are so foundational and the things that are so important and that really make your life, I think, worthwhile. So you're doing good work in the world, my
Thank
friend.
you.
I'm just so delighted to get to be kind of a bystander and get to see the success that you're having and that your clients are having too. It's been really exciting. Okay, so we want to talk about some of the things that you've implemented because the idea too is to inspire other people to take some action. Are you willing to share kind of what was the thing that kind of where were you in your business before you and I first started working together? And like, when you think about the thing we're going to talk about specifically around your success, what were you doing before we started working together? And then what has shifted?
Mhm. Well, frankly, I didn't even have this business before or when we first started.
Yeah.
That's kind of transitioned into because, one of the things that you talked to me about on a strategy call was, well, what will people pay you for? Like, what is something that you know how to do that people will actually spend money on and actually pay you for? That really um, it just like I feel like there's a whole month where I was pondering that question and realizing that I had skills or things that I've been doing, kind of taking almost like, like not really understanding that it was a skill that I've
Hmm.
been doing for so many years, and realizing that that was something that I could apply and actually help other people. Like I'd been doing it kind of for free in a
Hmm.
way, for so many years with people, and I always enjoy that, kind of been more of as a mentor. But that all being said, is really even in my other business, kind of focus more on accountants and educating other accountants. I needed significant help on just how to communicate with people, not as much one on one, but in email, on LinkedIn. Just like I feel like I kept using the word I a lot.
Hmm.
My emails were horrible. Like I would just freeze. And I think that's what I explained to you. And that's where I love, like, you just kind of met me where I'm at. And that's what I've also taken away, is just meet people where they are and provide what they need. So, yes, you can have a framework, but you need to have different types of offerings that will kind of help, especially in the coaching arena, different things that will help because everybody's going to come to you in a different spot. And that's
Yeah.
where I feel you really helped me. And it's like, that's where Voxer came in, and I quickly realized I needed unlimited Voxer because I needed to ask Nikki quite way more questions than just one a day. And I think where I've gotten the most, I mean, besides that kind of tipping point of that strategy call, was being able to say, "Hey, Nikki, does this email look okay? What do I need to tweak in this?" I think one of the things you mentioned before was that I kind of gotten to that point where you don't need to tweak too much usually, but I know that some of those first emails were horrific.
Well, okay, I'm not going to say horrific. I love that you are such a great Voxer. I love working with you on Voxer. It's super fun. And we did start out with, I think, limited. You had a program that
Mhm.
had limited Voxer. So limited Voxer with me is you get one question a day, 5 days a week. And unlimited Voxers, you can ask me as many questions as many times a day as you have. So us switching you to unlimited Voxer, I think, has been a game changer because now, like, you are so proactive and you are engaging with so many people every single day because I am looking at, like, here's the message, here's the situation. You'll ask, like, I really want to say this, but I'm not quite sure how to
Mhm.
phrase it, right? And then we can tweak that. And having, worked together now for a while, I should have looked to see, like, how long has it been? It's been a few months.
Yeah, I
I
think
want to say 5 or 6.
it
Has
might
it
have
been
been
longer?
even longer
It
now.
might be longer.
It's just because of the whole switch over, I think, of things too. It's just like, and it was another coach that actually, I mean, I know you know who it is, but another
Yeah.
coach that recommended that I work with you because I kept sharing. Like, I knew that this was I would say weakness, that like it kind of was a weakness. Like, I knew this was an area that was a struggle for me. And like I said, I was just freezing. I just wouldn't even send an email because I knew it wasn't good. And it just, and then I look back at some of the emails before you, and I think it is no wonder that person, like, I didn't get any response, or like, nothing happened because I was putting everything on, it was all about me, I feel like, and not about their problem, not you. Like, I also didn't ask very good questions either.
Well, all the places where you were is so common. Anytime somebody is holding themselves back, like, I don't feel like I don't know what to send, so I freeze. I know I want to send something, but I'm not sending it because I'm not comfortable with the way it's coming out, or it doesn't sound right to me, or it doesn't feel good to send it. That is screaming out, like, get some support,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like. Like, get some support, because you are stifling yourself and stifling your business. And it's unrealistic to think that you're supposed to just have these skills. So I think we beat ourselves up so much. And just like when you're working with your clients, right? Like, if nobody taught them how to think about their finances, or what were healthy habits around your finances, it's unrealistic to think that they're just going to
Yep.
naturally know that. And I think sometimes with sales, people think, well, I'm just supposed to be a good communicator, but I don't feel like a good communicator, so I just won't communicate. But
Mhm.
it's a skill, and it's something that can be learned. And girl, have you learned it? Because you're right. Like, a lot of times you send me messages now of like, Nikki, I just want your eyes on this. And I'm like, it's perfect, send it. And then every once in a while to be like, okay, let's tweak this sentence, or where's the question, right? Like, that's a big one
Mhm.
with me, is like, where's the question? What are we asking
Yes.
for here? Like, how can we engage the reader? And those, it has like, just in the months we've been working together, it has really transformed. And again, your productivity, from my impression, has gone up huge, because before it'd be like, okay, here's this email today. And now it's like, here are the 7 emails I'm sending today. And I'm like, yes, girl, go, go, go. And we're seeing results too. Like, that's the
Yes.
thing, is people are responding to your messages. They're answering your questions. They're booking times to get on calls
Mhm.
with you, and you're booking clients from it. You're booking trainings from it. Because I know you said you also work and do accounting. We didn't talk too much about that, but like, you are a specialist when it comes to reconciliation, and you offer these trainings to teach people how to do their reconciliations better, and it makes a huge difference to businesses, right? There's that side of your business, and then of course there's this side that you're doing now, the Life CFO, and this, helping to create these happy homes and happy lives and financial freedom for your clients. Like, it's so impactful. But the idea is, you have to be able to get people to take that next step. And it's your job to guide it, it's your job to lead it. And you have leaned in so heavily to, like, taking responsibility to improving your own skill set so that you can serve more people. And it's just been, I'm so impressed. I mean, I'm so
Well,
impressed
thank
with
you.
you and all your knowledge, right? Like, everything, you are an expert when it comes, because when you talk finance stuff to me, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's fantastic. Right. But the idea of, you have also really learned to hone your communication skills, and we're seeing such great results from it. I don't know if you want to speak to the results, but I mean, I get to hear about them, and your wins, right? But it's been
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, I think as I even talk to other people and they're like, number one, kind of this aha, like, Sharon, this is like everything is fitting together, right? I was thinking yesterday, it's like all connecting the dots, all the things I'm passionate about, all the skills that I have. It's just kind of all kind of fitting together. But then also having you as that, that sales coach and that help of, okay, I might like that perfectionist tendencies that I have that where it was just truly holding me back to even ever want, like, kind of, you know, talk to people again. I would talk to people I knew, right? That I didn't have as much of a problem with. It was, okay, how do I get to that next level of talking to people I don't know and engaging with them? Because again, they don't know me, right? So how do I get to that know, like, and trust
Yep.
to get them to purchase something from me? And, it's been tweaking all kinds of things, right? Like, mostly it's been around the emails, but lately it's been around, you know, LinkedIn DMs. It's been around my LinkedIn profile, all of those types of things, just kind of like it all coming together. And usually I know now when I do something wrong, like I combined like 2 things in the same process. And it's like, okay, Nikki, I think that was wrong. Tell me what I should have done. So, it's all I got you in my head for sure. Mhm.
I always want to apologize when people say that, like, oh, I'm sorry I'm in there.
It's
But
good.
but again, you've been such a great implementer of taking these things and figuring out. So again, now a lot of times it's lighter lifting for me, I will say, with the Voxer messages because you get the structure and your structure is there. Like you understand the structure of crafting a message that is increasing your chances of somebody engaging with it. And that is a game changer
Mhm.
for people who are doing outreach. And this idea of that, like, yeah, you can talk to people you know, but it's like, how do you talk to people you don't know? And when I think about building business, it's usually the people you don't know that are more likely to hire you. So talking to
Mhm.
people you know as the only option really is limiting to your business and your opportunity to get the business off the ground. Like we have to get people who don't know us yet to be interested and engaged in what we're offering and eventually quicker, like, shorter is better than longer, pay us money because that is
Yes.
how the business is going to thrive. So you're doing a great job. I'm so impressed. I'm impressed with the work you're doing in the world, and I'm impressed with your ability to really, I mean, I think you're really hard on yourself, right? Like you do beat yourself up a lot, but at least acknowledging like I want to do better. And so I'm willing to invest in myself and I'm willing to get feedback because that's the other thing. I think a lot of people are so afraid of asking for feedback because then it means that somehow some part of them is wrong. But I never look at it like that. I just think like getting feedback and being able to implement it in your own way and take action on it is just like it's that forward momentum that it can't be stopped. It's the snowball, what I'm trying to say, rolling down the hill. Like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and your confidence is growing, and you're just showing up as more of yourself in all the most beautiful ways. I love
Yeah.
it.
I was thinking about just also the impact of all of this, right? And it's like, yes, all of that for me, that confidence, and I'm willing to talk to people. I now have better questions to ask them. I now have like, frankly, I use all those questions like not as many why questions. That's a big thing. More the what, the who, the where, and it's really transformed some personal relationships I have too. Instead of like, again, asking my kids or my husband, like, well, why did you do that? Or why didn't you do that? I don't say that anymore. And it's made a huge difference both on, not just business wise, but also personally. And it's, I don't know, it just so totally transformed me. But again, like to your point, because it's transformed me, I can now help other people transform in the way that, like, using my skill set, like I'm getting fairly decent leads in. And what's happening is because those leads, for the most part, are people I want to work with, like they are my ideal customer, it's important that I convert them, right? Because it's like if my leads are working, that piece of it, then it's like if I don't talk to them and engage with them, whether it's, again, over the phone, via email, that type of thing, and that part of it's not working, then I don't get to work with the people that actually, would benefit from the two of us working together.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about sales is that it's that skill set that when you put it on the upfront and it's the thing that you lean into of like improving your ability to communicate, improving your ability to ask questions, improving your ability to send an email that somebody will engage with. That is when you really get to do the work that you're meant to do in the world because the sales piece has to be there. You have to understand this communication, this sales piece. And once you do, then you do get to work with the people that you're going to make a huge impact and their life is going to improve. I mean, I don't know. I just think being able to make a positive impact in somebody's marriage and in their family. And, I know, working with somebody recently that you were helping of like this person who wants to really change a lot of things about their life. And one is that they want to get out of the like day-to-day grind and really build a business that allows for them to spend more time with their family. Like that's
Mhm.
life changing, not just for that person, but for their family. Like it's such a big impact that you're making, and you're just doing such a good job. And I'm so delighted to get to work with you. I'm so honored that our mutual friend and your coach referred you to me and that I get to be a part of your journey. I'm just so delighted. And I want to say to anybody listening, if what we're talking about, if you're thinking this around your own finances or having uncomfortable conversations with your significant other and or wanting to make some change to think about your legacy and think about your family, like this is your person. Reach out, engage. We're going to give all that of how people can connect with you, but I'm just I just want to I want to give a shout out and a cheer and a recommendation that I recommend you, that the
Thank
work
you.
that you're doing in the world makes a difference.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Is there anything we haven't talked about that you want to make sure that we get into this episode? No pressure, but any last thing?
The only other thing I can think of is like I do have, eventually I'm going to be launching in coming home by design. So that'll be my second framework, and that will be more specific to women who are looking to eventually come home. And that is not just physically, but that could be spiritually as well. So just, the idea of what does home mean to you?
Mm,
And making that journey towards like really centering your life around your home.
mm. I'm excited for that too. And to know that you have all these things kind of in the works, so many things in the works for you, so many good things. So, all right. Well, share with everybody what is the best way to connect with you?
The best way to connect with me is actually on LinkedIn. So I am very active on LinkedIn. So it's just Cooper or Shana Cooper on LinkedIn. But if you are wanting to meet with me and, connect that way just to have a one-on-one, you can go to my website at happyhomesandfamilies.com.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you to the listener for sticking around and I hope you're inspired by what Shanna has been talking about, whether it's you're inspired around the financial piece or you're inspired around improving your own communication skills so that you get to support more of the people that you want to make an impact in the world, whatever inspires you. And let us know. Reach out. Definitely connect with Shanna. Like I know you're mostly on LinkedIn, so connect with her on LinkedIn for sure. Check out her website. And if you want to share with me what was your biggest takeaway from this episode, I'd love to hear that. All right. Thanks for listening. Shanna, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for having me.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.